The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
What's up, everybody? It's the first week in December. My name is Taylor Cooper. This is Might Be Sports. With me, as always, Kevin Reevy and CJ. What up, CJ? What
How's
up,
it
Reevy?
going?
What up, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What's going on?
I can't believe it's December already. I can't believe that, we have 2 more weeks left before season finale week here at the network. There's only 2 more episodes of this.
It's pretty exciting.
It is. It's exciting. It's been a long season. We'll have done 30 episodes when it's over, which is pretty great. It's pretty great. I feel like we've done a lot of really cool stuff this season. I feel like we've had a lot of really good discussions this season. And I can't wait to carry it even further in season 3.
The naked Patreon episodes were weird.
They were weird.
You guys still haven't explained to me why that was necessary. And I don't know what you guys did with the video.
Yeah, that's secret. It's a secret thing.
You told me it was going to be I don't know what, you said it was going to be publicly available. And I'm like, all right, I get it. For the brand,
Yeah.
for the network, I'll do it. But I haven't seen it online. I haven't seen it available anywhere.
No.
I kind of feel
It's on certain sites, and there's membership fees that go into it.
Yeah, it's on the dark web.
I just want my cut.
There's no cuts. So Might Be Sports. Should we start with your...
Are we going to play the clip?
Should we start with your clip?
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I mean, so why don't you give us a little... should we play the clip first and then you explain it, or do you want to explain it and then we play it?
All right. Well, let's just play the clip.
Okay.
So this is from, whatever your political leanings are.
Sure.
Love him or hate him. This is from Ben Shapiro's podcast, I believe yesterday. So it would be Tuesday. The Ben Shapiro show. This is towards the end of his show where he does the segment, Things He Loves, Things He Hates.
For a quick thing I like, and then a quick thing that I hate. So things that I like today. So I know there's a lot of heavy material. Here's some light material. There's as you know, I love baseball books. There's a good baseball book by Kevin Reedy and Ryan Spader. It's a lot of fun, called Incredible Baseball Stats. Great bathroom book.
Wow.
The coolest, strangest stats and facts in baseball history. And it summarizes sort of most interesting stats for every baseball team. So if you're a baseball fan, check it out. Incredible Baseball Stats by Kevin Reedy and Ryan Spader. If you're not a baseball fan, well, deal with it. I'll have a different thing I like tomorrow. Okay, time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that's huge, dude.
That's awesome. I'm really excited about that.
That's really big.
That's cool.
That's really, really big. That's great.
So is bathroom book a genre of books now? Because I know
yeah,
you've
it
been
is.
trying for a while to get it.
Damn right. That should be
it should be a
category on...
Absolutely.
By the way, we're #1 on Amazon in youth baseball and softball. If that's a category, then bathroom books should be a category for sure.
I 100% agree.
We were #1 in sports humor encyclopedias. No, actually, I think we were just not even sports, just humor encyclopedias. But what the hell's a humor encyclopedia?
Dude, I'm really proud of you guys. That's great. That's
thank you.
fantastic.
So he ends every show saying, he's the #1 conservative podcast and radio show in the nation.
Wow.
So it's pretty
That's huge,
damn
man.
cool.
That's very,
to
very
have,
cool.
Ben Shapiro shout us out like that. We sent him, he's not just doing this on a whim. We sent him a copy of the book, and we knew he was a big baseball fan. He did, I believe he did a quasi baseball book about him going to White Sox games with his father. So go check that out on Amazon. Just search Ben Shapiro. So we kind of we knew for sure he's a big baseball fan.
Yeah.
And we actually kind of targeted, we kind of thought, if we send him a copy, he might, put it on the Things He Likes segment, and that would be amazing. And all these months later, he
did it.
He came through. That's pretty cool.
That's really
I mean,
cool,
we didn't
man.
ask for anything. We just sent him a book and kind of hoped, things would work out, and that's pretty sweet.
That's really, really cool. That's really, really cool. Does
Feels
he always talk that fast?
Yeah, it's
Yeah?
insane.
Yeah, it sounded speeded up like he's
Yeah, that's what I thought you had it on. I thought, and then
Yeah,
you
right.
handed me the
There
phone
are
and it was on
times
YouTube,
where-
and I was like, YouTube doesn't
So a lot
do
of
that.
people listen to podcasts, especially like that, when you were, taking in a
Fast.
lot of information, they'd speed it up to 1.5 and 2 times. And he kind of jokes around a lot of times saying, you're doing the master class of Ben Shapiro if you put his podcast on 2 times.
No shit.
But I mean, he's one of those super smart dudes. He was in the news when he was in college, and even before then, he was kind of on the he was in the media at a very young age. Actually, there's a video on YouTube of oh shoot, who was the CNN guy with the suspenders and glasses? Who am I thinking of?
Larry King?
Yeah, Larry King. Larry King introduced him like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever it was. Young Ben Shapiro playing the violin or something, and it's him as like a young prodigy, and he turns out to be what he is today. But yeah, so he's a really big name in that space. And again, love him or hate him, whatever. It's just cool. It would be just as cool if I was mentioned on anybody's. I mean,
I agree. That's very, very cool. And
next up, Oprah's book club.
Yeah, you should be shooting for that. I don't see why not.
Break into the baseball space.
Yeah, why not? Congratulations, man. That's really cool.
Really cool.
So first thing I want to touch on, and I feel like we might spend a little bit of time on this. We had a conversation last week. Shout out to Ricky Bell and the Backyard Report podcast. Check them out. Find them on Facebook. We were talking about the Eagles prior to the Dolphins game. And I had a feeling in my gut. Like I just was like, they're playing in Miami. I feel like they're going to lose this game. And I wasn't surprised when they lost the game, but I was surprised how they lost the game. How good they looked in the first series on defense versus how horrible they looked on defense in the rest of the game, essentially. I don't think Carson Wentz had a bad game. I don't even think Nelson Aguilar had a bad game. Like I don't know why they lost that game, other than the fact that they literally stopped running the ball at a certain point in the first half, which is fucking crazy. I've come to the conclusion that the coaching staff is a very, very, very big problem for this football team. And I feel like what trust I had built up with Doug P is faltering. I feel like they absolutely need to go out and get an offensive coordinator this offseason that can work with Carson Wentz and get back to his strengths. You look at Frank Wright, and we talked about this last week. Frank Wright worked with Carson Wentz and Nick Foles in 2017 and built a game plan around their strengths. And that was enough, I feel like, to push them through to the next level every time they got to the next level. You don't see that with this team. You don't see the next man up mentality being displayed by anybody on this team. For crying out loud, what's his name? The rookie receiver. Why am I blanking on his name? He had a touchdown.
Arcega-Whiteside.
Yeah. They, by rights, all rights should have won that game. It was the best their offense has played in 3 weeks.
Well, I have thoughts, but let me start by saying I was wrong because actually, before we started, this whole Ben Shapiro stuff came up really last minute. So we started the show with that. But I was telling CJ probably about an hour ago, we're going to start talking about the Eagles. And I was like, I know what Taylor's going to say. And I was doing my Taylor impression.
Yeah, let me hear it.
And I was like, all right, so this is how I thought the show was going to go.
Yes.
All right, you know how we're going to start the show. That game was garbage. Garbage.
I can't wait to film this show
Total
so
garbage.
You can see Kevin Reeves doing the
So that's how I thought you're going to come out hot, and you're going to be like, garbage.
That is the weirdest thing. You're both doing the same hand motion as you're saying the same word.
It really makes it. I don't know if it comes through on the audio podcast, but if we had the video, you could see it more.
You nailed that.
It's more of a it's more of a full thing. But so that's, and you're very subdued, but that's fine. That's good.
I've come to grips with it. It's done. It's over. The season's done.
I'm trying not to be. I think this makes me pretty clearly like an Eagles apologist, but I can't help it. It is what it is. I don't see that game as being that bad. I just think it was incredibly unlucky. If you look at that, they were up 10-0. Fourth down. Well, let's start this whole thing by saying the Dolphins made a bunch of decisions that a winning football team trying to, like playing for something, a winning football, playing for a playoff spot, decisions that kind of team would never make.
Right. Yeah.
So if they're working towards a playoff spot on fourth down and like 7 around the 50-yard line, they would have never gone for it on fourth down 10-0.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that.
Because
Yeah.
what happens when you don't get that fourth down, and by the way, you don't throw it up. You don't just throw it up. So what happens when you lose that fourth down 9 times out of 10? The game's over. Because now you're giving the ball back to the Eagles there at midfield, and if they score a touchdown at 17-0, the first quarter's not even over yet.
Yeah.
So really, for all intents and purposes, if they don't make that fourth down, the game's over, and the Eagles win by like 25 points, because the whole trajectory of the game gets changed if that pass is not complete. Which, by the way, it was tipped. An amazing catch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a lot of that.
There was a lot of that going on. It was a miraculous game of sorts for the Dolphins.
There was every 50-50
Fitz magic, if you will.
Came down the Dolphins' way. Every 50-50 pass. They threw it up all the time. He just threw it up, and it just worked out all the time. Now, that's, it's not good for the Eagles' defensive backs, and it says a lot about, their size. Maybe they're a little undersized. They are a little undersized.
Yeah.
Their tallest D-back might be 5'10".
I was watching them
5'11".
watch the receivers catch the ball. Like watching them, not doing anything, but watching the receivers catch the ball. And it's just like, this can't happen anymore ever again. Jeffrey Lurie has to be involved. Like, everybody has to be on the hot seat right now.
And by the way, that trick play that everyone's in love with, and all right, it looks cool, it worked out. Another decision that a winning football team would never make.
Right.
They would never do that. That's insane.
No, it's insane.
You take the field goal.
Right.
If you have any faith in your offense actually scoring points later in the game. I forget what the score was at that point, but I'm going to say
it was close.
Was it something like
10-17? 17-10?
I think 13-7 maybe.
Something like that. Yeah.
So
It was lower.
In what world do you, you're not on the 1. I think they were on maybe the 3.
Yeah.
So you can't really run it in. In that scenario, if you're on the 1, maybe you chance it. If you're on the 3 or so, you just get the field goal. You make it 13-10. That's what you do every time, 10 times out of 10. So again, this was a Madden game. I keep calling it a Madden game to everybody that asks my opinion or wants it. It was a Madden game. A bunch of decisions you would never see a rational team working to make the playoffs would make. And that play, by the way, real stupid play. And again, I sound like an Eagles homer, fine, whatever, call it what it is. It's probably true. But really dumb play. Think about what that play needs to happen. It's not like the Philly play where Nick Foles plays it off like he's not part of the play and then catches the ball. That makes sense because the defense is not going to think Nick Foles is part of that play. And you would go towards the guy that has the ball. There's no reason to defend Nick Foles at that point because it's kind of wacky to think that it would be like a double reverse and then a toss to the goddamn quarterback.
Yeah.
The difference between a punter throwing it to the kicker is there's no reason to send an extra man after the punter because he's the fucking punter, and it's already 2 men against 1. So the defense has to be so dumb, so undisciplined to go after the punter. Like, what's the risk there? You already have 2 men on the Eagles side against the 1 offensive lineman. That's enough. What's the punter going to do? He's the punter. But still, the Eagles were undisciplined, and the man came off the kicker to come after the punter. In my mind, that's a dumb play.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't work. Because everyone should be sitting there recognizing what's going on. There should be a quarterback on defense there saying, Stick on your man because we're good here. The punter's getting the ball, and we have 2 men against 1 right now.
Yeah.
He's not getting in the end zone. There's no way he's running in the end zone. So why anyone came off their man makes no sense. So that play, it kind of pissed me off because it worked and it shouldn't have. I think it's a dumb play.
It is a dumb play.
I think if anybody, and it's one of those, I don't think you could ever run again because
Right.
once you see it, once you know it exists,
You know what
if
they're
you
doing.
ever see that play again, the easy way to stop it is, all right, everybody just play man.
Yep.
It's done. I mean, because the punter's not going to be able to run in the damn ball.
Right.
There was just a lot of that, a lot of those. And then once it got into the second half, and, the Eagles made some dumb mistakes too. There was the drop by Ertz and then the sack from the sack that Wentz took. And then, that pushed him back and then the missed field goal. That was that's like a bad luck trio right there. I mean, good Lord. He hits that field goal and it's a 2-score game. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. So I'm not too worried about it. If you look at their schedule going forward, I think it's what they got.
That's what I wanted to talk about next.
Giants, Cowboys, Giants again, Redskins, right?
Yeah, it's all NFC East from here on out. It's Giants at Eagles this coming Monday. Then the week after that, it's Eagles at Redskins. Then Cowboys at Eagles.
Right.
Then Eagles at Giants.
That could be 4-0. And I know everybody gets down in Philly and they're saying, this team's done. You're there.
I'm there. It's
But
over.
hey, I mean, it's not over though.
I know it, but it is.
You win those 4 games. Those are 4 very winnable games, and you just have to keep in mind how lucky that tipped pass. It was. I keep wanting to call him Jarvis Landry. What's the name of the damn wide receiver for the Dolphins? I've always wanted to call him Jarvis Landry. I get him confused with the guy on the Browns. But who's the Dolphins wide receiver? What's his damn name? I mean, he had one of Devontae Parker. He had, as far as I could tell, one of the best games of any wide receiver I've seen this year.
Yeah.
If he doesn't make that, go back. Everybody listening to me right now, go back, pause this, go on YouTube, and look at his catch in the first quarter there, where on 4th down, the pass I was talking about, right before it goes in his hands, the defender has his hand on it. It's tipped right there. Again, 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
That's an incomplete pass and a turnover on down at midfield. The Eagles most likely either score a touchdown or kick a field goal. It's 13-0, it's 17-0. But, I mean, really, play the odds on that. Instead of being 10-7, it's now at least 13-0, you would think, most likely,
Yeah.
the way things were going. The game's pretty much over at that point.
Right.
But it's just every gamble the Dolphins made
They
just
won.
worked out.
Yeah.
And, not to, really sound like a homer here, but are we ever going to see that call made? I don't know if it's called spearing, but whatever it is, where it was about a year ago, they said a running back could not lower his helmet. We talked about it, I think, on the podcast when that rule was instituted.
Yep. I remember that.
He can't lower his helmet to target a defender. If that's the rule, Ryan Fitzpatrick broke that rule like by the letter of the rule. Like there's no other, you see the intent.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was right before, I'm not sure if it was the play before or 2 plays prior of the trick play, that touchdown. He runs up the middle, lowers his helmet when he sees the defender come, and just slams his helmet right into the defender's helmet. I don't understand. If you're not going to call it there, when do you call it?
Right.
And that should be 15 yards back, but it wasn't. And I also want to know, and not just for the Eagles game, I couldn't tell what they were saying. I was watching the game without the volume. I was at a restaurant, and the bartender had the Steelers game on in
That's what you get for living in Lancaster.
a Philly suburb. It was in Lancaster. It was in Downingtown, PA. You would say a suburb stronghold for the Eagles. And had the Steelers audio on. Awful. But anyway.
That's awful. That's a violation.
I don't know why this is never called. If a defender accidentally grazes a face mask, it's a face mask, 15 yards, boom, every time. How come running backs can get away with this left and right all the time? They can just grab a defender's face mask and pull him down. It's never called. It's never called on offensive players.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
All I know is what I saw, and there was a flag on the play, and next thing I know, it's 2nd and 7. I guess they picked up the flag. I don't know what that was all about, but they showed the replay, and the running back for the Dolphins grabs the face mask, pulls the defender down, runs out of bounds. I don't see the difference. I don't understand why that penalty is not applied equally on offense and defense. I've never totally understood how a running back can basically just like slap the shit out of a defender's face, just willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Never really understood that to begin with, but especially grabbing a face mask. And I sound like a whining Eagles fan. I get it. I hear it too. But I'm just giving, I guess, I'm either infuriating people that are anti-Eagles right now more, or what I hope is that I'm giving them, reasons to not be so pissed off. Because it wasn't as bad as it seemed. I think it really was, as shitty as it sounds to say, just a bad luck game where everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Well, let me just say this, okay, because everything has to go right from here on out in order for them to make the playoffs, which is why, to me, they're done. But let's look. Let's look at the Cowboys' schedule moving forward.
Wait, real quick, though, I want to just say before we get into this, just to jump into it, keep in mind, losing to the Dolphins might help in one respect. If there really is going to be a fight for that number 1 draft pick, the Dolphins now have one more win. And the Eagles are playing the Giants twice, the Redskins once more, 2 teams that are in the hunt, potentially, for that number 1 pick, or as low as they can get to that number 1 pick. And the Redskins, I mean, if they're not in it for a quarterback, if they believe in Haskins, then if they got like the 3rd pick, they could have the number 1 non-quarterback player in the draft.
Yeah.
They just got to get to the 3rd spot. And the Giants, they're certainly not in it for a quarterback. But again, get around the 2nd, 3rd, 4th pick, you could have the number 1 non-quarterback player in the draft. That's pretty big. That's something to play for. So you got to wonder, when the Eagles play the Giants twice more and the Redskins once, how motivated are those teams?
Right.
So let's jump into the schedule.
Well, the division rivals, but I see your point definitely. This Thursday we got Cowboys at Bears. They're both 6-6.
Bears have figured it out a little bit.
The Bears are back.
But I still think the Cowboys win. I can't get over, as much as I've kind of been, shitting on the Cowboys all season long, I called the Jets win over them. I was actually pretty wrong about what I've been saying about Dak. He's had a very solid year all around. Not even solid, a great year. He's been really, really good. Just very inconsistent against better teams.
Right.
But you still look at the talent on that team, and it doesn't make any sense.
Next after the Bears, they have the Rams in Dallas.
And they're the same team. Both those teams don't make any sense. The Rams should not be as bad. There's something to this Super Bowl hangover thing because it's like the real deal. Then
Dallas at Philly. And then it's week 17. Redskins at Dallas for the last week of the season.
And that's one of those things where they'll win that game.
What do you think, though? I mean, what are they doing? I think 2-2 out of that. I think at least 2-2 out of that.
If it's 2-2, that's crazy. And it would depend on which 2. But if it's 2-2, that means the Eagles can lose one game. It just can't be the Dallas game. So if it's 2-2, that's.
What do you think?
If Dallas really goes 2-2 in that stretch.
But what do you think they're gonna do?
I think. I mean, I just look. They're the better team in every one of those matchups. They're going to be the favorite in every one of those games. So I don't see. I mean, it would depend where I would rank it. I guess if you're playing if you were to put money on it, then you would think 3-1 would be the most likely scenario, right? They're going to lose one of those.
Yeah, probably most likely.
2-2, I think, would be on par with 4-0.
I think they lose against the Bears, and I think they lose against the Eagles.
Well, that's the thing. If they lose against the Bears, I think Vegas, the odds shift towards Philly. Right now, I would have to assume that Dallas is the favorite team.
We'll find out after the break.
I mean, they have to be because they have the better record right now. So at least they have that one win on top. But, I mean, even
over the Bears? No, they're both 6-6.
No, I'm saying over the Eagles.
Oh,
so they have the one-game edge in the NFC East.
Sure.
And, technically speaking, the Eagles can lose to the Cowboys, but then the tiebreaker's set for the Cowboys.
Right.
So if the Cowboys were to go 3-1 and the Eagles went 4-0, they went 2-2 and the Eagles went 3-1, but that one loss was to the Cowboys. Doesn't matter. Cowboys are in. So if the Cowboys now lose to the Bears, that changes things big time. I think then it sets up, not a too likely scenario, but you could theoretically lose to the Cowboys and still be in the hunt. It would be a low percentage shot, but if they lose to the Cowboys, you'd think that chance would be damn near zero. But man, if the Cowboys lose to the Bears, they're going to be in trouble. But either way, it almost doesn't matter. The Eagles have to beat the Cowboys in all likelihood. The odds that it plays out any other way is just very unlikely. So it's about that game. It's not like I bet everybody in Dallas right now is thinking they're going to lose out. They can't figure it out. I think there's probably a bunch of people in Philly thinking right now they're going to lose out. But I'm telling you, that was a weird game that they just lost. It was a Madden game. I'm telling you, there's so many decisions were made because the team had nothing to lose. They just went for it. And just, holy shit, everything just kind of worked out. And I've been saying it, and as much as I hate to say these things, because I don't know. I'm not an NFL coach. I'm not an expert. I don't know a damn thing. But I've always said, throw it up against the Eagles secondary. See what happens. You'll either come down with the ball or there'll be a flag because those guys just don't know what the hell they're doing. It seemed like that's what the Dolphins were doing and going forward. And the Giants are a team that loves to figure out a way to break Philly down. Eli Manning was amazing at doing this. He would have quick slants. He would gash the Eagles for like 8 yards at a time, 6 yards, 7, 8, 9, 10. Would never go downfield, just quick shots because you couldn't get to him in time. Takes a 2-step drop, gets rid of the ball. And it's infuriating. He eats up the clock, gets first downs every damn time. Past couple years, we've had tough games against the Giants for no good reason.
Yeah.
They've been a garbage team.
Yeah.
And they've made it tight every damn time. So I worry about that going against the Giants because they're going to watch the game film and say, shit, what do we have to lose?
Right.
Why don't we just throw it up?
It's going to be interesting to see. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to guess the spreads, do some clickbait on New Go to the Week. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, it's Jackie from Relatable Radio. I want to talk to you guys about Eunomia CBD. This stuff is great, and it helps with my stress and my aches and pains. I've tried everything I can get my hands on, from the gummies, pills, droppers, drink enhancers, and they're all fantastic, and they work. Holidays are coming up. Give the gift of Eunomia CBD. It's 100% THC-free, nano-amplified, and third-party lab tested. You can find them at eunomiacbd.com. That's EUNOMIA.CBD.com. Use promo code MBN and you'll get 20% off, plus free shipping, plus free stuff. They're giving exclusive stuff just to the MBN listeners. So what do you have to lose? Go to eunomiacbd.com today. Must be 18 or older to purchase.
So you've been listening to the Might Be News Network, but you still can't get enough each week? Become our patron on Patreon. Head to patreon.com/MBN Network to become a patron and get exclusive content now. For as little as $5 per month, you'll get access to extended episodes of all your favorite shows, as well as perks including MBN merch and monthly giveaways. Just want to support the network? Become a patron for as much or as little as you'd like. Get bonus content each week and head to patreon.com/MBN network. Your contributions help us make this network bigger and better than ever before. Patreon.com/MBN network.
Welcome back to Might Be Sports. All right, we talked enough Eagles in the first half. Let's get all around the league right now with some guess the spreads.
Cowboys at Bears.
All right, so we touched on this.
Bears.
Yeah, the Bears are back.
Bears 52, Cowboys 3. Late field goal.
Mr. Trubisky had his best game as a pro football player on Thanksgiving. I got to say it. He looked great. Well, he looked okay. He looked good. The Bears are back. I give Vegas thinks the Cowboys are going to win this game. I'm just going to sit here and say right now I think the Bears are going to win it. But for the sake of guess the spreads, I'm going to go Cowboys by 3.
Is it at Cowboys or Bears?
At Bears.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, maybe they do have a shot.
Yeah, I think they do.
So Vegas probably thinks, I don't know. I don't know what the national thought is about the Cowboys right now. I think they're way better than they've been playing. But I've been talking shit on them, but I didn't think they were going to be this bad. So, you said 3, and 3 is pretty solid.
Yep.
I would have guessed 3, but I'll go 4.
Cowboys by 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, I should have just said 3. We both would have been right. It would have been, we could have high-fived. And now
Ravens at Bills.
Ravens at Bills?
Yes.
It's a good game.
Okay.
The first place Ravens? The first place Lamar Jackson Ravens?
I'm basically wrong about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens every week until I'm right.
Until you're right.
And Lamar Jackson will get hurt. I'm not rooting for it. Yes, I am. No, I kind of. All right. Here's the thing. You can't say you're rooting for an injury.
Right. You just want to be right. I get what you're saying.
I think there's a workaround for that rule, though. I think if you're, as a rule, if you think quarterbacks like that cannot stay healthy, then I'm rooting for that rule
to be upheld.
Yeah, to be upheld. So.
It's a violation by you, though, because you have a Ravens jersey. You can't root for this guy to go down.
It's a Joe Flacco Ravens jersey.
Yeah, but it's the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never liked the Ravens.
Yeah, I've never really liked the Ravens either. However, I did kind of jump on their bandwagon a little bit when they drafted Lamar Jackson, just because.
I think I rooted for them when they were facing the 49ers, but I didn't really have a dog in that fight. I didn't really care too much.
What a game, too. I think I
was rooting for Flacco because he's kind of local to us.
Do we think that that's the Super Bowl? Do we think that that's the matchup?
No, I mean, it's hard to predict those things. And I think the 49ers are so beatable. But when you get that first round bye, it looks like they'll probably get it. That changes everything. And it's just, whenever you can have one less game to play, that's a big, big, big advantage. So
what is this? Ravens at Bills?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of got off track there. So I'll just jump in and say Ravens by at Bills 9.5.
I'm gonna go Ravens by 6.
Ravens 5.5.
Ooh, that's wild.
Panthers at Falcons.
You're dialed in right now, by the way.
They just fired their coach. The Panthers did.
Ron Rivera
Today. They did. Well,
he'll have a job in no time.
Yeah.
He's a big time hire, I think.
Wait, I'm sorry. Bears or Falcons.
Panthers at Falcons.
At Falcons. I'm gonna go Falcons by 4.
Well, that's not bad. I kind of like this as with the coach being out.
Yeah.
Falcons by 1.
Falcons by 3.
Okay.
Bengals at Browns.
You're really nailing these, by the way. You're getting really close. Who at Browns?
Bengals at Browns.
Bengals at Browns.
They're so bad.
Is Andy Dalton back for good?
I don't know.
I think that changes things. It was one thing I was wondering about because they sat Andy Dalton for these terrible quarterbacks, and I kind of wondered at what point, like, do you need to put in your best quarterback because everybody else is still playing for, if you're not playing to win, a playoff spot, you got to give these guys a chance to play for a contract, like to get their stats up. Like, you can't continuously put out shitty quarterback every time.
Right.
So I think they were kind of forced to put Andy Dalton back in. So I assume he's going to be in there. I kind of like the Bengals here. All right, what the hell? Bengals by 1.
Who are they playing?
Browns.
And it was, where was this game at?
Cleveland.
I thought it was at Cincinnati. All right, I'll switch that and say, which I'm dumb, but all right. It does, they say what, 2-3 points? So I'll change it the other way around and Cleveland by 1. Because I think Vegas is smart.
I'm going to go with your original idea and say Bengals by 1 just because this game sucks.
Browns by 8.5.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Vegas is not smart then. Because I don't understand that. Is Andy Dalton playing? Because
don't
I
know.
think they actually have a decent offense if he's behind center. I don't think the Bengals are that bad. And if you look at their schedule, when the season started, they lost some close games. They were kind of in there. They lost every goddamn one. But I don't think they're that bad. I think the Browns they've been playing better, and everybody thinks that they're what they were supposed to be. No, they haven't played anybody that's any good.
Yeah.
Broncos at Texans.
Texans are back.
And see, that's dumb too. Because I don't think the Patriots are as good
No,
as
I
everyone
don't.
thought.
I don't either.
But the Texans were looking piss poor before
They were.
that game.
Yeah, they were.
So it's all this reactionary shit, 1 week, 2 week, people
Texans versus who?
change their
Broncos.
opinions
The Broncos.
too quickly.
Broncos are bad too. Texans by 3.
Texans by 5.5.
Texans by 8.5.
I don't see it.
I was going to go
I guess the
7,
Broncos are
but
that
you brought
bad.
me down.
Lions at Vikings.
I like the Vikings. I think they have potentially the best offense in the league. So it's at home. I'll take the Vikings by 6.
That's where I was going to go. I'll go Vikings by 5.
Vikings by 13.
Really?
Wow.
Colts at Bucks.
Ugh. God. There's so many bad teams in the fucking NFL this year. At Bucks?
Yes.
Bucks by 2.
Wait, hold on. I got distracted. The Lions, Viking. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess I keep forgetting their quarterback, Blouse. Get it? Their quarterback's name is he Blouse.
Blouse.
His name is Blau. Is that still their quarterback? I guess Blau.
You better hope for the
Yeah.
joke to
Points.
work.
I think so.
Jeez. Man, it's so interesting coming off a loss against the Seahawks. Wow, it's a lot of points. All right. Sorry, I wasn't even paying attention. Who's this game?
Colts at Bucks.
Okay. Well, what are the Colts now? Are they back to being irrelevant?
No, not really.
Are they still in the hunt? Nah, they're 6-6.
Yeah, they're not.
They just fell to the Titans. Well, I would say a month ago, this is 5 points more, but Colts by 2.
Bucks by 3.
See, that's crazy. Really?
Dolphins at
I
Jets.
guess the Bucks aren't as bad as it seems.
What was it?
Dolphins at Jets.
The Dolphins are back.
The Dolphins are back.
That's my dolphin impression.
The Dolphins are back.
Do you want to hear my my R2D2?
Sure.
Beep boop bop, beep boop beep bop. I've been doing that one. That was really good. How about a Chewbacca?
Do it.
I mean, this is stuff that's like in the news right now. Star
I can tell
Wars,
you've been
Mandalorian.
practicing.
All right.
I'm Chewbacca. You had it until the end.
You think like it was too on the nose?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'm working on it. I'll get it perfect, dialed in. It's been a while since the last Star Wars movie. I'll get it dialed in by the time the movie comes out. I'm Luke Skywalker. That one, I mean, that's where it all started. So I built off of that one. And then now I know. Start with the one I have locked in.
Are you watching The Mandalorian?
Then work on the others.
Do you have Disney
No.
Plus?
I have Disney Plus.
Oh. You should be watching The Mandalorian. It's why you get it.
I haven't started doing it yet. I've been busy. I'm going to check it out. I still have to watch The Irishman. So, yeah.
Yeah. You got to carve out 3.5 hours for that one.
Yeah, so I got to watch The Irishman, and I got to. It's a long movie, and you're sitting there, like on the couch, gets sweaty. You watch The Irishman, and then you wash The Irishman. That's what I call my balls. Because after 3.5 hours on the couch, just chilling out eating pizza, you get pretty sweaty. You got to go take a shower.
CJ, what game are we on?
I don't know. That was a dumb joke.
We're on the Dolphins and the Jets.
Okay. Backstory: I'm Irish.
It's about as good as
75%.
This game is going to be about as good as Reevy's joke. God, the Dolphins are back. Dolphins by 3.
Dolphins Jets.
Yes.
This is going to be another Madden game where they try all this bullshit and they lose by 30. I want to put all of my money on the Jets, all of it. It is not going to work out for them. But I promise you, this is one of those games, again, I'll throw money on it. I don't normally bet. I'll bet on the Jets. This is going to be like Dolphins by 3.
Jets by 5.
Okay. So Vegas is not that crazy. That's good. They know what they're doing.
Niners at Saints.
But 5, I still take Jets heavy.
Yeah, I would take
This is
Jets.
I think it's in Jersey too. So maybe I didn't really factor that in. If it's in New York, man, I love that.
Yeah.
If the Eagles blow out the Dolphins, you get what? At least 3-4 free points? That line would be at least 8, right? If the Eagles blow them out. Well, like we just said, we just talked about, it was a lucky deal the Dolphins had. No matter how you look at it, you have to admit, all those fourth down plays, luck was on their side. So just trust me. Everyone out there, bet on the Jets. Might Be News Network will cover your losses.
Yeah.
So that may or may not be true.
That's nowhere in the fine print. CJ, what's next?
Niners at Saints.
Niners at Saints. Niners are looking for a comeback, rebound.
Is this Sunday night?
No, we're still in 1 o'clock games.
Oh, really?
Good
Wow.
Lord.
Yeah, we've been taking a while. Let's speed this up.
Let's go. I think Saints might win this. Saints by 3.
Niners Saints. This might be one of those other things where have we figured out if you can flex a 1 o'clock game? Because this should be flexed. I like the Saints. But in this particular, this has to be Saints by 1.
It is Saints by 3.
Ooh. Wow.
Redskins at Packers.
Well, the Packers. I guess I really don't like the Redskins at all right now. So I would say this is north of 8. I'll go 8.5. No, 9.5 Packers.
I'll go Packers by 8 then.
Packers by 12.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm so uncomfortable going double digits in almost any scenario.
Yeah. Next.
Chargers at Jags.
Is it me? Chargers at Jags?
Yep.
Man, Nick Foles got booed out of that stadium last
How
week.
right was I saying the Chargers suck this year, by the way?
Yep, you got that
Preseason.
one. Nailed that one.
I mean, who knows anything? I just took a stab.
I'm going Jags by 2.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Got Gardner Minshew coming back. I think
Playing for his job.
the Chargers are still talented. They are not a 4-8 team. They're way better than that. But to lose to the Broncos, yikes. I would say I'll take Chargers by 2.
Chargers by 3. Chiefs at Patriots.
Love the Chiefs right now. They look like their old selves. Patriots.
Would you say that they're back?
Not so good. I would say they're back. Let's be reactionary. But to be fair, I'm not looking at last week. I'm looking at what they did in the beginning. What nobody does. Everybody wants to be so right now and exaggerate on what happened yesterday. I'm factoring in what happened the first 5 weeks of the season when I say the Chiefs are back.
Sure.
And they look really good.
They're at New England this weekend?
Yes.
The Patriots are going the other way. And by the way, they have, forget what his name is, 42-year-old quarterback. Like, in what scenario in the history of professional sports outside of Barry Bonds do you rely on that guy? So, I have to think Vegas knows this, and this is going to be, even though it's in New England, this is going to be Chiefs by 5.
I'm going to go Chiefs by 4.
Patriots by 3.
No way.
No way.
No way.
That's ridiculous.
No.
That's crazy. Come on. You got to bet Chiefs there, right? You have to.
Got to. Yeah. You got
The
to.
Patriots look really bad right now.
They're bad.
And if you actually add it all up, what do they have outside of a 42-year-old quarterback? What do they have?
Bad.
Steelers at Cardinals.
Well, their secondary is pretty good. Steelers at Cardinals. This is you. Go.
Cardinals by 2.
I thought I liked the Cardinals, and then, jeez. I don't know. This is one of those things I have no idea. If you ask me to pick a random team in the AFC that I have no idea about, a random team in the NFC I have no idea about, I most likely would say Steelers and Cardinals. So, pick them.
Steelers minus 2.5.
Makes sense. But I could totally see the Cardinals winning by 20. I don't know what to think of Kyler Murray anymore. He's letting me down.
Titans at Raiders.
And the Raiders, tale of two teams. They were shit, kind of good, kind of shitty. Then people thought maybe actually good, and now I'm back to shitty again. That is a true roller coaster. But, all right, they're playing who? The Raiders are playing
Titans
in Oakland. I've had no opinion of the Titans all year long. I guess they're back.
Yeah, they're back.
Now that they've instituted Ryan Tannehill. Well, let me look this up real quick. The Titans are 7-5. They got something to play for. So I guess it has to be Titans by 4.
I'll go Titans by 3.
Titans by 3.
Boom!
Been pretty good today. Pretty good.
Thank you.
Seahawks at Rams.
I'm going to go Seahawks by 6.
I'm ready to say that the Rams are not good. So, yeah, all right. At Rams, 6 makes sense. That's a really good guess. I'm going to go bold, go 7.5.
Damn.
Seahawks by 1.
What?
Why am I? This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me to miss it that badly. But why? I don't understand. I don't understand why. Because they were in the Super Bowl last year. I mean,
I guess.
the Rams. All right, they beat up on the Cardinals, but the Rams have been playing so poorly. They're 7-5.
Yeah.
Fine, but they lost some really. They look like shit.
How many more do we got,
One
CJ?
week makes a
Just
swing
Monday
like
night.
that.
Monday night.
We're on Monday night.
I don't get
Giants
it.
at Eagles.
Is this me?
This might be me.
It's you.
Okay, Eagles are going to be favored by how much? I would say. I was going to say 5 was my instinct, but it's too low. So it has to be 7.5. I'll go 7.5 again. That's my comfort zone.
I'm going to go Eagles by 2.
Eagles by 9.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Giants are pretty bad.
yeah, they're pretty bad.
They've lost, I think, a lot of games in a row.
You ready for some clickbait?
Alex Rodriguez bat, ball, and Yankees uniform from 600's home run hit hits auction block.
Do they have an estimate of what they think it's going to do? Don't say it if they do. Do they have a guess? There's no guess? Well,
No
that's
guess.
no fun. I
Yeah.
wanted to guess what the number was. Well, let's just guess and we'll figure it out later. What do you think it goes for? all that stuff.
Shit. I wouldn't have a clue. You go first, then I'll go.
The market for memorabilia and everything is actually kind of high right now. I would say that kind of thing, the New York market, Yankees are playing pretty well. There's a fever for that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's hundreds of thousands, not millions. So I would say all of that stuff combined, $180,000 is my guess.
I'll go $190,000.
All right. We'll see. We'll find out. I'll see if I can Google it while we continue this.
Next, CJ.
Gary Sheffield, moonshots, home runs while smoking, 51 years old.
I don't understand.
He was just getting balls thrown to him when he was hitting home runs while he was smoking.
Just smoking. Well, that's pretty dope. Good for him.
Sixers, Embiid and Drake are actually buds off the court.
Yeah. Oh, God, it drives me crazy. Drives me fucking crazy.
Well, of course they are.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
You never know how those things work nowadays because athletes want to be rappers want to be athletes.
Drives me fucking crazy.
They all link up eventually.
And segue into this. Antonio Brown, did you know I got shot in the ear? I'll explain on my new album with Sean Kingston.
Oh, no. Oh no. I mean, he's got to do something. He's used to a lavish lifestyle. He's got nothing now. It's a real shame.
Baker Mayfield, wife goes after Browns reporters too now.
Baker Mayfield has more commercials than wins. I'm sick of hearing about him. Good Lord, he's horrendous.
So a great follow on Twitter, especially right now because his father's making a push for the Hall of Fame, is Gary Sheffield Jr. Check him out on Twitter. His dad, of course, the famous Gary Sheffield, I think 506 home runs, something like that, maybe 501, something. I don't know. He belongs to the Hall of Fame. There was some steroid shit, but he never actually got in trouble, never got suspended, so it's all bullshit. Anyway, I believe he said, and if I'm wrong about this, then this whole lead up to it being Gary Sheffield Jr. is completely pointless, but I think he said that, oh, goddamn, I lost my train of thought. All of that, and I lost my fucking train of thought. What were we talking about?
Wow.
You went on Gary Sheffield. We were on Baker Mayfield.
I know, Baker Mayfield. Right. Sorry. I totally...
All this and we're running out of time.
Because I worried that it might not have been him that said it, and when it, like attribute it to somebody when it's like being harsh. But he was saying something along the lines of, is he already a bust? Is Baker Mayfield a bust? He was basically calling him a bust. And it's like, well, that's kind of harsh to say after he had, 27 touchdowns his rookie year and, 10 games played, whatever it was, 12 games played. I don't know. Could you possibly call Baker Mayfield a bust after just 2 years? But he's been so bad.
We'll see how he does next year.
If he didn't have the name, he would be... just another garbage backup quarterback like the Blau guy for Detroit. But he's got the name and he's got that amazing first year, so you think he's something more, but maybe he's not. Maybe he is just a bust.
Nyjah Houston, I was an Olympic caliber skater at 11 years old.
So who's that? Is that like a speed skater?
He's on the U.S. Olympic team for skateboarding in 2020.
Oh, right. Okay, I knew the name sounded familiar.
When you say skater to me, I go because, speed skating was a big thing in my neighborhood growing up. We were huge into speed skating. Rollerblading. What's that rollerblading movie? The only one. Remember the one where, the final scene is, it's like a rollerblade competition.
Oh, the Disney movie?
A whole city. The final race takes half the goddamn movie. It's an amazing movie. It's got Seth Green in it, I believe. I don't know, but it's the only rollerblading movie.
I very vaguely remember a rollerblading movie. I do.
It's really good. I actually want to see it now.
Wow, I need to I'm just gonna IMDb
the final race scene.
IMDb rollerblading movies.
And it's one of those scenes where
I believe it should be on your Disney Plus.
Where the music is playing, it's getting you into it, and he realizes he's gonna lose the race.
Yeah.
So he jumps off a bridge and lands on this flatbed truck and like sort of like slides on his knee and then like races towards the finish line and wins. He literally jumps off a bridge to win it. Spoiler alert for a movie I can't remember the name of. Great movie. Again, the only rollerblading movie. Just Google great rollerblading movie. It'll be there.
And 0 things come up on Google.
How many more do you have, CJ?
2 more.
2 more. Let's do it.
Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua. Ring girls axed from rematch in Saudi Arabia.
And I found the movie by Googling great rollerblading movie. It's called Airborne. Do you remember the movie Airborne?
Let me see the cover of it. Does it show the cover of it?
Yeah. It's like a bunch of... I hate when you press it and the photo goes smaller. It's hard to tell, but it's like a bunch of 90s kids
Yes.
doing rollerblade
I
tricks.
have seen that movie.
And yeah, I'm going to try to... You talk about whatever the hell else is going on right now, and I'll
What was the
look
story,
up who's in
CJ?
Airborne.
It was for the Ruiz Joshua fight. The ring girls got axed from the rematch in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
And then last one, George Foreman. Muhammad Ali warns me, don't fight Mike Tyson during comeback.
Man.
Jack Black is in Airborne with Seth Green and some guy named Shane McDermott who looks like he now sells real estate.
Wow.
So things didn't work out great for Shane McDermott, but for Seth Green and Jack Black, things... I mean, this Airborne movie was,
It was the takeoff.
it's just a stepping off point to 2 careers that went airborne, so
Wow.
to speak.
Wow.
So what's this bullshit about Mike Tyson?
So George Foreman said Muhammad Ali warned him, don't fight Mike Tyson during comeback.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That would have been terrible for him.
So Adam Carolla makes the argument. People ask him all the time. Adam Carolla, big boxing guy. He made a boxing movie called The Hammer. Check it out. Who's the greatest boxer of all time? And he says that's kind of hard to quantify. So he changes the argument to say, who is the one boxer every boxer in the history of the sport would have least liked to face in their prime? And he says if that's the question, he thinks most boxers would answer Mike Tyson. That's the guy you would fear the most in his prime.
Yeah.
Maybe didn't have the greatest career. Maybe that's Muhammad Ali. Maybe it's a middleweight. You can make a case for Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Sure.
But Mike Tyson, I don't think there's anybody who was more powerful in their prime.
I agree. CJ, that wrap it up for you?
Yep.
Let's do go to the week.
Fight B Sports presents the greatest of all time.
Of the week. My clear cut, absolute 100% go to the week this week. I got to give it to my wife, Jackie. Jackie, I can say nobody in our network fantasy football league has taken this season more seriously than my wife. And that's not reflected in her team's record by any stretch of the imagination. Nobody has felt those losses more than her, believe me.
Don't try hard, kids. Doesn't pay.
But she put in a ton of work. She made all the right moves this week, and she beat the best team in the league very, very well, 122-84 over Might Be Brews. I got to give it to her this week. She's the go of the week. Jackie, congratulations.
Terrific.
On your second fantasy football victory this week. You did a great job.
Do you have the terrific thing on there? Do you have the sound?
I think I took it off.
Oh, really? I wanted to try to mimic it.
Yeah, here it is.
Okay, terrific.
Okay, terrific.
You got it.
I think I did it.
That's the one.
Okay, sweet. For me, this is obvious. I think as obvious as, Jackie was for you. The go to the week this week for me is me and Ryan Spader. I think it's a tie. We're the go to the week. We were on, the Ben Shapiro show.
Yeah, here.
For a quick thing I like, and then a quick thing that I hate. So things that I like today. So I know there's a lot of heavy material. Here's some light material. There's as you know, I love baseball books. There's a good baseball book by Kevin Reedy and Ryan Spader. It's a lot of fun, called Incredible Baseball Stats. Great bathroom book. The coolest, strangest stats and facts in baseball history. And it summarizes sort of most interesting stats for every baseball team. So if you're a baseball fan, check it out. Incredible Baseball Stats by Kevin Reedy and Ryan Spader. If you're not a baseball fan, well, deal with it. I'll have a different thing I like tomorrow. Okay, time.
Yeah, deal with it. I'm the goat of the week. Me and Ryan Spader. Well, Ryan Spader one rung above me. He is the man, the myth, the legend. I merely reside in his shadow. And you know what? It feels good. It feels good being the greatest of all time.
Fantastic.
For just one day, for just 1 week.
Fantastic.
Feels good.
Fantastic. Excellent job, both of you guys tonight. Stay tuned next week. We got 2 episodes left of Might Be Sports here at the Might Be News Network. Check out, there's no shows tomorrow. Friday, there's an all-new Might Be Tunes where we discover the opening theme song to our new game show. So make sure you tune into that. Reevy.
Yeah, yee.
CJ, see you next time.
See ya.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you guys next time.